Hello, welcome to Movie Musters, review of the Kai's Season 6 Episode 4, REUP. When Lena Waithe gets up in the morning, she smokes a joint before starting to write. For several seasons now, the story of the Kai has included references to weed in the proper development of the plant. Every so often, 4/20th arrives, and the characters make an appropriate celebration of the day. Tiff's desires to develop her plant were previously explored, along with anything from the unfair incarceration of people because of pot to the effects that improperly produced weed can have on the populace. Beware of spoilers if you haven't watched the Kai Season 6 Episode 4 yet. We will examine everything that happened in that episode. If not, then let's begin. Everyone took the opportunity to smoke and enjoy their preferred marijuana strain on Weed Day without worrying that some rapacious cop would break in and arrest them. When the effects of marijuana wear off, the source of the stress is still present, so it's not a perfect stress reliever. Victor found something that had been missing from the community for a while during a meeting to smoke marijuana. Women have had to learn that everyone needs someone to talk to. Therefore Jaida, Tracy, Dre, and Nina occasionally got together to chat about the challenges in their lives. However, men have been conditioned to believe that expressing one's emotions is weak while, in fact, it is the strongest thing someone can do. Victor made the decision to begin his meeting with the men of the Kai, and it was so lovely to hear them start to open up to one another like that. I didn't think they would want to share so much with each other, but sometimes when something is overflowing, it just has to come out. Victor talked openly about the challenges he had at work, which was a reasonable concern. Most powerful individuals sacrifice themselves because they are so focused on helping others. Giving and receiving in this way can be a draining cycle. Shad, whose stories are often painful, stated feeling emasculated by the fact that he was so dependent on his lover. People shouldn't compare their concerns because everyone has different issues to deal with, and the stress they experience is equal to that of the other person. Emmett talked about not having a father figure, and while his feelings were understandable, it seemed like he held on to that too tightly. Even though Darnell was wrong to leave his family, there came a point where accountability for one's actions was required. Emmett had reached that point. No one could have put it better than Darnell, who gave his trademark wisdom-infused comments on manhood. You see, society constantly tells us that's what we have to be. It makes sense that you're attempting to please everyone. In a way, you believe that's the only way to be a man. Darnell. When Rosalind returned to Chicago with news, the end of the tunnel finally became visible. Q was employed by the FBI before do.Victor assassinated him. Although killing Q might have temporarily solved the issue, it actually made him more vulnerable because, if he had previously believed the FBI was after him, they now had a legitimate basis to do so. He had murdered a source. On the other hand, Rob was not joking about while looking for information. And Q's sister was also fighting to bring her brother's killer to justice. I mentioned in my review of the Kai Season 6 Episode 2 that the new guy in do.Victor's team experienced a strange incident, and he will never be able to refute the claims. He was simply too submissive. Even men who were passionate about that lifestyle, like Bakari, were not eager to participate in every facet of do.Victor's enterprise. The picture of what do.Victor desired with everyone he tried to subjugate ultimately became evident, and regrettably, it was nothing new. Blood is the main source of do.Victor's wealth. He engages in all unlawful and immoral activity, which makes him wealthy, and too much of anything is troublesome. The devil always comes to collect, and Emmett was the target of his visit. The requirement that he work for do.Victor was one of the conditions that came with the restaurant, clothing, car, and housing. The alternative Emmett has is to refuse and take the danger of going to the very end. In the best-case scenario, he will lose everything he now possesses. do.Victor might have been gracious enough to let him keep the clothes and shoes, but the restaurant, the house, and the vehicles were all purchased with illegal funds. Emmett was aware that do.Victor had him where he wanted him. Giving him that weapon was a test, and Emmett utterly failed it. He grew accustomed to the rifle. Then the sack of cash arrived, and he was unable to object. Who would have guessed that a truck full of weapons would be parked in front as the next event? He'll have done far too many crimes by that point, making do.Victor's ability to blackmail him simple. Emmett, our young man, is in for gloomy times. When the time came, many characters rose to be counted, which was beautiful. Shad sought employment from Bakari in an effort to supplement his income. When do.Victor gave him firearms to hold on to, he was faced with the jail gates. Nobody ever wants to feel so much heat. Given how many unlawful activities do.Victor is involved in, the allegations involving the guns would be a federal matter. It made me feel proud to see him stand up then, especially after his tribulations in the Kai Season 6 and throughout this episode. I'm going to avoid mischief. Enjoy your evening, everyone. Shad, did you notice how enthusiastic the new guy was in that scene? Additionally, Pastor Jackson got up. He addressed the crowd while standing on the dais, using a metaphor to warn them that the lion was pursuing their children. First, Peter challenges us to examine our hearts and muster courage. How do you react when a lion approaches your hamlet in search of your young? Do you provide food for them at your table? No. What do you do when a lion drenched in the blood of your neighbors prowls through your village? Does he have access to your bed? Do you blindly follow him? Do you aspire to be like him and harbor the dream that you and he will one day rule your own jungle? Everything we cherish will be destroyed by the lion if we are not careful. That beast won't stop until all of our young have been torn out if we aren't moral shepherds of our flock. That devil will eat us all if we don't drive him out of our city. And I only hope he doesn't target your home as his next target. Jackson, Pastor. Even though I'm not an expert in great sermons, that was excellent. Go to gallery. It's possible that the majority of the congregation missed the message. Jaida did, to his displeasure. Will they execute Pastor Jackson for rejecting their gospel? That will undoubtedly infuriate the neighborhood. Fatima's girlfriends forced her to face her life's reality in other places. It seemed strange. She was engaging in a fantasy that many transsexual women desire, but may never achieve. She had a boyfriend who was fearless and openly adored her. From being a trap house to a tyrannical residence. The buddy of Fatima, bitch, do you want to be spanked? What is happening, Jake? Fatima, you have a disrespectful little friend. This is not my friend, Jake. It's a client. You can go if you can't respect my house when others are inside. Want to chat to anyone else? Don't come in here with that garbage. Y'all may leave too. The females weren't doing a good job of assuaging her anxieties. However, it felt like everything may disappear at any minute. What did she have in mind? Kenya was introduced to Papa's friends when they became official in real life, but things didn't go as planned. Kenya might not succeed because of the distinct personalities and deep friendships in that group. Because of the group's predominant secularism. Her being a pastor's kid doesn't help her cause. Tiff and Rob were astounded by what they saw on their tour of a legitimate growing facility. Who knew marijuana required so much care? Wouldn't it be lovely to plant it in the forest center like they used to do, and let nature take care of the rest? Also, when the line stopped, Maisha's goals became more challenging. Or is she more than just a one-hit wonder? Or does she have more to say? If she quits trying to sound hip by rapping about pointless things like fancy goods, she will have more to say. In a male-dominated field where admirers promote unremarkable individuals who pen nasty songs and flaunt their wealth, she has a short leash. None of those privileges apply to her. REUP took on a lot but made progress on the plot in a big way. How did you feel? Post a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.